What is going on, everybody? Today I'm going to show you how to set up your first mic using the Wave XLR Pro. Now, I previously did an unboxing video and we kind of briefly went over the Wavelink application. So if you want to start there, go ahead and check out that video and come on back. But let's go ahead and get started with this. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the interface for the mic line-in. Now, there's two different ones, one where you can actually add through a USB and then one where you can actually use the XLR cables. Obviously, if you use the cables, you're gonna have a better sound output, but it all varies depending on the mic that you are using. For the purposes of this video, I'm using the Shure MV7 Plus, so keep that in mind. So as you can see here, we are currently in the XLR Mic 1 application, or part of the application, since that's the one that I'm using. This is exactly what it looks like here. We're in the input tab, and starting off, you can see that you can change your name, and you can also change your gain. Gain is basically what is used to make your mic sound louder. That's why it's basically called gain. The neat thing about this is that you can auto adjust your gain by clicking on it. You go ahead and click on start, and it basically tells you to read this, and it'll kind of try to read how loud you should be talking into the mic. So what I recommend is that you have your mic set up exactly how you want it to be, whether it's for streaming, making videos, maybe joining on meetings or so forth. Go ahead and make sure that your mic is set up correctly, and then start the test here, and it'll basically give you the amount of gain that it recommends for you. Obviously, you can adjust this depending on how loud your mic is. If you see here, it recommended that I use a 54 dB, but if you look down here, you can kind of tell that when I speak, the bar goes all the way to red. You generally want it to be high green, low orange / yellow, which is right where my mouse is currently at. So I would actually lower this a little bit. So now you can see, let's go ahead and test this out. Hi, how's it going? It still kind of hits red, so I might even go down a little bit more. Let's do 46. Hey guys, how's it going? You see that? So there's some higher emphasis when obviously I say some words. You see that the volume goes up, and then if I speak normally, it's perfectly in green, slight yellow. So this might actually be the right gain for me. So we move on to gain lock. You basically turn this on if you don't want any other application to mess with your gain. It's pretty simple. I would obviously put this on. Next up is 48 volts of phantom power. There's two types of mics, essentially the dynamic mics, which are basically used to reduce background noise or reject a lot of, loud noises, essentially. And then there's the condenser mics, which are basically used everywhere you basically see a mic. A lot of these are the plug and play USB mics. So just make sure you identify what type of mic you have. Now, if you have a dynamic mic, you won't need the additional voltage, as they're basically built to already have the power that they need. If you put this on and you have a dynamic mic, you might hear popping noises when you speak or record. The condenser mics, again, are usually plugged in through USB, and they typically require you to be in a quiet room. So it might not have, or it definitely won't have, the same capabilities as a dynamic mic. So yeah, I have the Shure MV7 Plus. We'll be keeping this off. Next up is the inline boost compatibility. So since I'm basically not using the 48 volts, which is typically used for this, I would basically have this off. But if you are using third application apps such as Cloud Lifter or Fathead to get basically an additional boost into your mic, then you might consider turning both of these on. Again, these are typically used for mics that need additional power or additional effects or boosting capabilities, which is why they're basically paired together here. Again, check if you have a dynamic mic. If you have one, then you typically won't need these two here. So now we have Clipguard. Basically what happens with the Wave XLR Pro is that it sends two signals, one where it takes the original input that's coming into the mic, and then one where it's kind of cleaning it up. So what happens with Clipguard is that it basically meets it in the middle so that you get a crisp and ready to use sound, essentially, especially if you're editing or whatnot. This makes it a lot easier for you to not mess with your audio, if that makes sense. If, for example, you're screaming loudly, then you might notice, if you don't have Clipguard, that the mic struggles to pick up that loud noise, and it might be a little staticky or have additional issues. But if you use Clipguard, it'll basically still pick up that audio, but it'll clean it up for you. So definitely keep this on. So now we're jumping into our effects tab over here. The first effect being the low cut filter. This basically picks up bumps, any sudden bumps, this will pick it up. But if you have the low cut filter, it'll go ahead and remove it. So you typically want to have this on to avoid maybe desk bumps being heard in the mic. It'll help with it. Now it might not reduce it completely, but it will definitely help. Next up is the expander. So this basically removes any keyboard clicks, any humming of the PC as well. So you also want to have this on. We have voice tune, which is typically used if you want to have a high-pitched voice, sort of like auto tune, I suppose. Or if you maybe have apps such as the voice mod app. Of course, you can always change settings in the voice mod app itself, but this is something that you would have on. I'll have it off so that it maintains my beautiful voice. We now have the compressor, which basically prevents sudden loud spikes, such as laughing or shouting, from clipping while making your speech or softer speech easier to hear. So again, it balances your audio from the low lows to the very high pitches. So keep that on as well. And next we have the equalizer, which basically balances out certain pitches in your voice. So if you're very loud and pitchy, then you can go ahead and adjust the equalizer so that it kind of brings it back to a normal tone. Same thing usually with dynamic mics. If you get a little bit too close, you might notice that it gets a little bit deeper or kind of like you're in a boxy environment. So using the equalizer will again normalize those tones. I typically have it off since the Shure MV7 comes out ready to go out of the box, but you can definitely turn it on if you're noticing that your voice isn't sounding quite normal. Now, all of these also have adjustments. As you can see here, we have the expander, the compressor, and the equalizer, where you can actually change some of these settings to make your voice sound essentially how you want it to sound. I won't go into these just because it's almost impossible to tell you exactly the settings that you need for your specific mic. Obviously, for my mic, I might need to change, let's say, 2 or 3 of these, whereas your mic, you might just need to change 1. So therefore, I think it's easier for you to find out what recommended EQ is actually used for your mic, rather than me say, oh, this is what I'm using for my mic, and then you copy that. It's unfortunate, but all good things are difficult. And finally, we have the voice focus. This is basically an AI that helps to remove any unnecessary background noise. So if there's something going on in the background, whether it's outside, in the next room, or stuff like that, this AI will help remove that noise so that basically only your voice is heard. The stronger it is, the stronger it works in removing that background noise, but it'll also distort your voice and you might sound robotic. So you kind of want to be on the lower side so that it does its job, but your voice isn't altered. Now at this time, there isn't any additional audio effects, as you can see here, but I'm guessing that in the future they might add more stuff. You can also go ahead and always record your voice here and then play it back so you can hear the effects that you've applied and ensure that your mic is sounding exactly how you want it. I recommend that you basically talk from all over the room that you're currently in. Maybe have certain things turned on, such as maybe the television or stuff like that, just so that you can tell how much your mic is picking up and how well you are sounding as well. So really take your time to notice how the bar moves and also play back the recording so you can hear what is being picked up as well. Well, that basically does it for this video. Hopefully this helped you out. Let me know if there's any additional issues that you may be having or stuff that you need help with. Again, this is basically a very fast tutorial, I would say, just because there's so much that goes into all of this. Again, I wish I could just say, copy these and you're good to go, but you know, every mic is different, so keep that in mind. Now, I would also use OBS, whether you use it to stream or record or not, as you can add your mic into the application and also check how loud your mic is coming through the use of decibels. So although we can see the bar here move and we can kind of tell where we want to be with the colors, the OBS system actually shows you the numbers, which is very useful as well to kind of identify where your voice should be. It's free, easy to use. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. If you have any questions with that, let me know as well. But again, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bells so that you don't miss any future videos. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Be sure to check me out on YouTube Live and Twitch, as you can find me progressing through games and simply chill with me. I would also like to mention that I now offer 2 levels of membership on YouTube where you can obtain exclusive perks or simply support my channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.